What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. Today I'm bringing a video on Kamen Rider Build Episode 3. This episode is called Borderline of Justice, and it's a really good episode. It continues things off from the last episode, and it starts off with Sento going through everything that both him and Ryoga know so far regarding memories and other things like that, and also looking for Nabeshima, as we might remember from the last episode. So they're discussing things, and they know that they have to look for him, and Misora offers to use her resources to track down where Nabeshima is. What does that mean exactly? Well, suddenly what happens is that Soichi comes over, puts on gets this kind of curtain to block her way so she can change, and she changes into her internet idol form, which is known as Mitten, and she ends up contacting all of her thousands and thousands of viewers, asking them to find Nabeshima, and several of them write back to her, and she does all this cutesy stuff to kind of make them fall in love with her and do her bidding. So that leads to her finding out where he may end up being. Then from there, what happens is that there's is that they also find out that there is a Smash monster that's attacking, and that also helps them out. So that leads to them having to go out. Ryoga also asks, do you care more about being Build, or do you care about saving these people? And he cares more about Build. And there's a little bit more to that that's explained later on. But anyway, from there we end up seeing a discussion between the three prime ministers of the three different areas of Japan. You know, from Saito to Heiko and and Totoro. Each of the prime ministers talk about what they've accomplished and what they hope to do, and the one from Totoro in particular is the one that is really focused on, because that's the one where the Totoro Institute is located. So that's important to obviously take into consideration. I'm just double checking something right now. Hakoda, Saito, Toto. Right. Sorry. So I was just double checking. So anyway, from there, what happens is that they discuss things, and we end up seeing Gentaku talking to him, to the prime minister from Totoro, who is an interesting character, but fairly minor. Anyway, what happens is that they're discussing things, and he's also supposed to be, I believe, Gentaku's father. But he's wants to be referred to as the prime minister. Anyway, what happens is that they each have their own initiatives. You can tell that they each have, that they're not all, that they're really not good people. In fact, some of them come across as very creepy and evil. So that's something important to remember. But anyway, they also, Gentaku's asked by the prime minister what the situation is regarding Kamen Rider, and basically he doesn't have a real response to it, and it leads into Sento going after the Smash Monster, which turns out to be the Flying Smash Monster. What happens is that he gets into a battle with it, and in the meantime there's this kid who's being attacked by the Smash Monster, and Sawa comes with him and protects the kid. In the meantime, Build fights the Flying Smash using the Rabbit Tank combination, also uses the Gorilla Vacuum one, which is something we hadn't seen yet. At least that combination. We've seen those two bottles, but we haven't seen that combination. Also, he uses Gorilla Mond, which is the Gorilla and Diamond combination, and in the end he does destroy he does get rid of the Flying Smash, which reverts it back into a human, which actually turns out to be a woman who her name is Rika Kien, and she and the little boy was actually her son. So she was attacking her own son, who was like this very little boy named Kota, and anyway, she basically is very, very appreciative of the Kamen Rider for saving her, and she doesn't see him as a threat, as evil. She sees him as someone that means well. But other people come by and they notice him, and they think that maybe he's actually trying to, keep her captive or something like that. But Sento ends up riding off on his bike, while Sawa tries to tell the people off about, like, no, he's not a bad person. So then from there, what happens is that we end up seeing Sento talking with Ryoga and stuff, and at one point the microwave machine or whatever makes a new bottle. This bottle is the Hawk bottle. Makes sense with the flying smash, so Hawk. And the thing is that Ryoga ends up talking with Sento, because Sento actually puts two bottles against this wall that has a paneling which fits the different bottles on it. And the thing is that it's explained to him that by Soichi that when two bottles are a best match, if they're put next to each other, then the wall will light up, confirming that they're a best match. And originally it was only meant for the Rabbit and Tank, because that was the only one that really had at the time, but now they've had multiple best matches. So basically their whole idea here is that they want to get it so that the wall has a full wall of best matches. Now, does that mean that what they have on the wall is the maximum number of best matches there will be for the season? Hopefully not, but we don't know anything for sure. Again, I don't want to assume anything, and for all we know, there could be more than what is potentially available on just that little wall. Anyway, what happens is that they're discussing things and how they've been spending lots of time trying to figure out what are the best matches for things, and they've been trying to get it so that they can use this Gatling bottle. And what happens is that Ryoga ends up putting the Hawk and the Gatling bottle into the build driver, and it turns out to be a best match, which Soichi and Sento are amazed that he got it so quickly. And he said, well, it's like an animal and a machine, I'm sure that, and a weapon, I'm sure that would be fitting. And Sento's like, I don't like your logic, that seems so childish, even though in reality it worked, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, from there, what happens is that Sento ends up, after having this conversation, goes to the Toto Institute to see if Gentaku has any information regarding Nabeshima. And in the meantime, Ryoga is tied up again, like the last episode, by Mizora to a wall. And what happens is that she is, in the meantime, meant to go and look for more information regarding Nabeshima. But eventually what happens is that he ends up getting out, and he ends up stealing Mizora's phone, and he ends up on a call with Nabeshima. Nabeshima mentions how his family is in danger of being experimented on, and that he needs to save him, and that he's located in a certain district of Seto, so he needs help. In the meantime, we see that actually Night Rogue has put him up to sending Ryoga down to Seto, and that he is at the mercy of Night Rogue. So following this, though, we find out that Nabeshima is also put under human experimentation by Night Rogue. And what also is explained is that the organization that does all these experiments is called FEWZ, F-A-U-S-T. That's the spelling of it. And FEWZ is doing all these experiments. So we don't know much else about it, but we just know that that's the name of the organization. So now we actually have a name to go with the organization that's causing all of these experiments. So then from there, what happens is that Ryoga ends up going with Sawa to a boat that that's used for smuggling people across the different parts of Japan. And what happens is that they can't go immediately, but suddenly what happens is that we also see some guardians that come by and attack Sawa and Ryoga. And Ryoga actually disguises himself as an old guy just so that no guardians would find him. But what happens is that at one point, the outfit isn't convincing enough, and he is revealed to be who he is, and he ends up using one of the bottles and somehow manages to do a really good attack that knocks the guardians back, and then following this, Sento appears. And Sento gets into a fight with the guardians, and at one point they end up getting the chance to retreat, and they talk to each other. And apparently, the reason why Sento doesn't care as much about people really also has to do with saving people, is because, you know, he'll just do it because it makes him feel good. It makes him smile. Like when he can help people, that's all that matters. He just likes to. It makes him crack a smile. But it's something along those lines. So anyway, from there, what happens is that Ryoga is told to go, as same with Sawa, and in the meantime, Sento gets into a fight with the Guardians, since they only kind of got away a little bit of a distance. And what happens is that we end up seeing Sento use the Rabbit and Tank combination, and he also ends up using the Hawk Gatling. That is really cool to see. So he ends up getting wings, and he ends up using his Gatling weapon, which this weapon is really cool because as you press the button a certain number of times, like as you turn the barrel constantly, it will the barrel of the gun, it will go from 10 shots to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 to 100 shots, which is a full which is a perfect shot, which means that you get 100 bullets shot out. And he uses these attacks in different ways, but that's his big finisher with the 100 bullets, and it's mainly used for the Hawk Gatling combination. So it's really cool to see that used against these Guardians. And also what happens is that following this, we end up seeing Ryoga and Sawa asking to go on the boat, and they're told that they can't go on by the captain of the ship because them going on the ship could put the other passengers at risk of danger, so they don't want to take their chances with it. But then what happens is we end up seeing the woman who was turned into the Flying Smash before say it's her right that they can go, and she actually is the wife of the ship's captain, or one of the people that's on the ship. So they're allowed, and basically they get away with it because of her, and she thanks them and she thanks him. So she thanks Build for saving her. Anyway, that's where that ends with them. But in the meantime, we end up seeing Sento fight another Smash, which the Smash is the Mirage Smash, which turns out to be Nabeshima. Nabeshima, yes, he actually was a Smash, and what happens is that after obtaining the essence, suddenly someone from behind comes out in the snake form and ends up poisoning Sento, leaving him knocked out. This character is also mentioned by Gentaku as, I guess Stark has started working or something like that. Stark is the other, so we have Night Rogue, who's it was like a bad kind of rider for the season, but Stark is the other bad rider that we haven't really gotten to see him yet, but in the preview we do see what he looks like, and that is Blood Stark, by the way. So he ends up being seen and poisons him, and he is supposed to be another villain. Now we don't know if Night Rogue and Blood Stark are supposed to work together, or if they're enemies, or how they are connected, or what will happen. But all we know is that Blood Stark isn't good. Same with Night Rogue. But I'm pretty sure that what he does is different from what Night Rogue does. He doesn't do experimentations. He probably has a different purpose, but he is evil. Also, he may not be from the same area as well. But anyway, the preview also shows off Blood Stark. It shows off of a few other situations that happen. And it looks like a decent episode. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Let me know your guys' opinion. Are you guys looking forward to episode 4, a Kamen Rider build? Are you interested in seeing Bloodstalk be introduced to the next episode? Again, I don't know if they'll actually reveal his name, because again, we haven't had they haven't officially said Night Rogue yet. Actually, I think they did, but no one else has said it. I think like it was announced that he had shown up in the last episode, but it wasn't the same thing as someone actually saying, "Oh, Night Rogue." It was more like some announcer voice saying it, which is a little bit different. So, should be cool to see how that works out. But yeah, I don't know when these characters will get their identities revealed. I don't know anything about that yet. What I can tell you right now is that means that there are at least 4 riders for the season, and I can't wait to see when all of them become a team, and also if there will be additional riders following this. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this episode? What do you think of it overall? Are you interested in seeing what happens next? Do you like the new Hawk Gatling best match formation? Please remember, I'd love to know your guys' opinions below, and see you guys next time. So until you guys, I'm Crazy Star, everyone, and goodbye, guys.